Okay, microphone check. What's going on, everybody? Let me, you know what? I forgot to actually check that USB advanced. I think it sounds pretty good. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Everything sounds good. I'm gonna check this side over here. Sorry, I'm late tonight. I couldn't go a Sunday without having some little bit of live stream. Have a little jack stand church like we talk about here on the channel. We actually had a video that we were supposed to send out yesterday, so I just put it out like an hour or two ago with, I premiered it or whatever, kind of like what you do with live streaming. But make sure you guys go check that out. I appreciate that. Let me check the audio here. We sound pretty good. Anyways, we've had a really, really busy weekend. Like, it's been really crazy, to say the least. And you guys hear me pretty good? I don't know. I can't see the sound on the other screen. What's up, Driver Joe? Mark Parker, K&K's Garage, Shelby County. What's up, Mark Turner? Encore. Good to see everybody tonight. We have a pretty good live stream. We're not going to be on too long. We're going to be on about an hour or so, pretty much standard. Let me know if you guys can hear this fan over here. I mean, it's like 95 degrees in Ohio. So it's like, we don't get hot weather here. We don't even run air conditioning on our cars most of the time. And yeah, it's whatever. We just roll our damn windows down. But we got a little heat wave coming through. I don't know who hit the switch in the south to make that shit hot up here, but y'all can go ahead and turn that shit off. We're about done with it already. It's only been a day. Can't go outside without having to change your damn shirt. And today was the first time I ran outside, get a little sun and shit. And today was the first day that I sweat through my shoes. I don't think I've ever sweat through my shoes before, but I mean, I guess it's time to get into that croc life, right? I don't know. Anyways, appreciate you guys stopping in tonight. Got a couple things we're going to be talking about. I always want to do a live stream on Sunday because I love y'all and I appreciate everything that you guys do for us here on the channel. And you guys here in my live chat, there's a lot of the usual suspects every Sunday, and we get a chance to call this Jack Stand Church. And let's kick this off with, if you're working on your car because you're listening to me talk a bunch of bullshit for an hour, I want you to throw it up in chat and let me know what you're doing. You know what I mean? I don't care if you're working on a Honda Civic. I don't care if you're working on a damn lawnmower. Either way, let me know what you're working on. I appreciate you just listening to me talk some shit for an hour and, throw some things up in chat. What's up, Bob Brown? Good to see you, brother. Adventures with Super Dave is in the house. Turn the AC on. Brother, I just put the AC. I live in one of my rentals, right? When I got a divorce years ago, I ended up moving into one of my rentals, and it was not AC equipped. Let's put it this way. So I spent about an hour before live stream trying to get a damn air conditioning in my unit in my damn window, and it just wasn't cooperating. And that's one of the reasons why we're a little bit late today. But y'all forgive me anyway, right? Y'all forgive me. Y'all love me. Come on. Yeah, there's a fan sitting over here, so if it's like blowing on the mic, I don't know if it blows. I don't know. Anyways, Jim Hilton in the house. What's going on? Not as hot as, yeah. We ain't getting into that politics stuff. We don't talk about politics here on the channel. We don't give a damn. I mean, we care, but we're not going to get into that. 104 in Nebraska. Zach Haskins in the house. Hamlin and I are out cruising on the Fox right now. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. You're cruising in your foxbody? Because we all know Hamlin don't got no streetcar. He got that big tire, centered iron shit. What's up, everybody? We just put 4 mats in the car. The car is summer ready. Anyway, we got a couple things to talk about. One piece at a time. If there's anything that you guys take from the channel, shit, cars don't build themselves, and Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was your car. And as much as we want to put our time and money and budget our family and money and whatever, time's the biggest currency of them all. This weekend was a total shit show for me, and it was a shit show in a good way, just time-wise. It's just everything, I had to get a video done for you guys on Saturday morning. I had to prep the white car. I had to fix the white car twice, actually, this weekend before we even made any hits. I mean, we were racing in Magnolias this weekend, which is one of the, probably, if not one of the sketchiest outlaw tracks here in Ohio. Always had a big name, a big crowd comes to watch that because literally it's like racing on a street in the woods somewhere. And it's got a pretty shitty track. We're going to be doing a video on it. I appreciate you guys if you watch it, whatever. I do put some good effort in this, trying to do as much footage as I can. And I'm going to show you some sneak peeks here on this live stream. I know there's a lot of guys don't really relate to it, but nonetheless, it's car shit. It's Sunday. It's Jack's, it's Jack's Stand Church. So I'm going to share what I had. Unfortunately, we didn't come out with a W yesterday. We were a couple 100 feet away from some money, and sometimes you just got to let that shit go. But we'll talk about that later. Anyways, we got, one piece at a time. This whole live stream is about this black car right here. I just have not had a lot. I mean, we just took the video out, tonight. It was supposed to be out last night. And, one piece at a time, we're going to get this shit done. And I'm going to bring the video out from the racing Tuesday, but Thursday we should have this car running. I got a couple hours. I got to hook some stuff up, and you already know things ain't going to go together like they should. That we make this facade in our head, like, I got 2 hours in that car and I'll have that thing running. But there's going to be something that doesn't run right, something that doesn't work right, and something you forgot to hook the hell up. And this is why I'm always talking about putting that shit, on a whiteboard, you know what I mean, and going through the list and checking it twice, because you're going to forget some shit and mess it all up. And then, of course, you're going to have to order some parts, which takes another 2 days to get there. And you can see how that whole damn, that whole rabbit hole, it don't matter if you're working on a GM or a Ford or a Mopar or a plane. It's always some bullshit like that. But you know what? There's therapy in the garage. I'm going to be honest with you. I love it. And, it's what we do. With us adding rentals as much as we've added 3 rentals this year. It's definitely taken a toll on my time frame, especially with my family. And that's one of the biggest problems that I'm having right now. And I don't know, I'm not afraid to admit it, is it's putting a toll on my family. Trying to get these cars back. Thank God the white car hasn't catastrophically failed on me. I mean, I've had some ignition problems. But, I budgeted enough time to keep it maintenance and keep it running and keep it competitive. But, if something, Lord willing, if something was to go catastrophically wrong with that white car, I don't know if I'd have the time to fix the damn thing right now. And I know some of you guys can feel what I'm talking about, whether it's work, whether it's, projects at the house, that honey-do list, this, that, and the other. It's a struggle, man. And, I'd be the first to admit and the first to talk about it on the, on the channel. You ain't even got to chat me out about it. It is what it is. Time is the biggest currency, and it's the biggest, we think we have all this time. I thought today, I was like, shit, I'm going to have so much time today. I'll be able to get into the, the garage, and before our live stream, I'll be able to do this on the black car and this on the, man, we didn't even touch that car. I had to go here, had to go there. I had to do this for the shop. I had to do this for the house. Mow the lawn. Y'all get it. But you know what? That's life. You know what I mean? I always tell people, you could be with a busy man or babysit a broke one. You know what I mean? And, I'm a busy man. I'm a busy man. But it is what it is, man. Being busy is not a bad thing. But just got to try to budget as much as you can as far as your time is concerned and your money. But let me go scroll back up. I'm exhausted. I've worked my ass off this thing the last 3 days. Got mine back together from paint. It looks really good, Mark. All I got to do is, I almost thought the is an LS swap. All I got to do is LS swap the rear gear. All I got to do is swap the rear gear in there. Let me tell you what. I was talking that shit last week, and I'm going to talk that shit again this week. Ain't no damn reason. I know you didn't LS swap, Mark. I'm just kind of bringing it up. Ain't no damn reason to be LS swapping shit. I don't know what y'all doing. Like, I get it. It was junkyard stuff. I mean, LI swap, like, I mean, it's a really cool build. Like when you, like my buddy JP's got an LS swap and like an RX-7. Now we know RX-7s, most of that's like a rotary motor stuff. So that's kind of really an exotic engine. So I can see why that would be, you know, kind of pulled out and another one put in. And I know people put LS swaps in a lot of other cars or whatever, but in a Fox body, man, with the prices of Coyotes and junkyards and shit, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, to me, it doesn't make any sense. The Coyote's a bad bitch. Even at Gen 1, you can make, what, 350 wheel, 400 wheel, which is about the same you would on an LS junkyard motor. I mean, why? You know, I'm not an LS hater. I love that engine. And that engine's a great engine, 100%. But it serves its purpose not in a Fox body, in my opinion. With the 351 Windsor, the 9.5 deck's a bad bitch. We all know that, even in production mode. You know, even in a production block. And, you know, and with Coyotes, again, it's 2025. I mean, it's not 2019. It ain't 2018 where Gen 2 was just coming out and Coyotes were super expensive. And they still are. But they're in the junkyard. Go look. Go look for a truck, 2011 and above. You'll find them. Junkyard swap the shit out of that. You can't tell me you can't find them. I found 4 of them myself, of which 2 I own. So, LS swap's got its ways, man. LS swap's got its ways. But, I mean, in a Fox body or in like a project or like just a straight grudge car, sure. But, you know, we're considering, you know, running a Coyote soon. You know, I'm about that 9.5 deck life. I'm not going to lie to you. I like my 363, but, you know, I'd like to have a 427. I ain't going to lie to you. Gunner Smith, how you doing? Did that earlier, having clutch issues. Think I'm going to try to throw a twin disc. I'm telling you, man, I tried to tell you that before. You know, you can grow into your clutch. You know what I mean? Like, I've had several questions in the last couple of weeks, like, hey, well, you know, should I get it, you know, will a T5 handle 500 horsepower? No, it will not handle 500 horsepower. And if you say it handles 500 horsepower, then you don't make 500 horsepower. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to pop that thing in third and get in a little bit of throttle, and that thing going to go ahead and shatter into like 5 pieces. And it's always third gear and counter. And it's the same thing with the TKO. That's why the TKO, I'll never run a TKO again. TKX is a bad bitch. If you get an opportunity to sell your T5 and you don't break it, you just go buy a TKX. I mean, if you've already got a TKO, you can take that thing out and sell it to and make most of your money towards a TKX. I'm telling you, TKX is a badass transmission for a street car. You know, it'll handle every bit of good horsepower. Good horsepower meaning 500, 600, 700, maybe even 800. Depends on how you drive it. I mean, at that point, you should really be thinking about a G101 or mainly a T56 Magnum. But I'm working on installing new intake on my 85 Fox. Have a hard time dropping the distributor back in. Make sure your dipstick, your dipstick drive shafts, sometimes them little bastards come out of the pump just enough to where you can't get the distributor. Make sure that's seated right. Yo, checking in. I had my girlfriend paint my 351 flathead rebuild. There you go. 2 turns to 5. That's right. What's up? What's up, Caleb? What's going on, Heath, in the house? World's fastest stick shift nitrous. What's up, big dog? Good to see it and appreciate you stopping in. I'm exhausted from the past weekend. I'm not in the shop tonight, but it's not been hot but humid here, man. I'm telling you, bro. It's tough. Look, it's tough to try to get out in the shop. You know, it's tough to get out in the shop when it's freaking blistering heat. You know, the nice thing about, at least here in Ohio, it don't get that hot. Like, we keep the damn door closed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we keep the damn garage door closed. And it'll stay, my building's really insulated. So as long as we keep the damn doors closed, it'll actually stay like 65 in here. And without even having any AC. But once we let that heat in, we're effed. I'm not going to lie to you, man. And it's just as bad. I got to take care of work and household stuff first. Yes, sir. It's kind of, and that's like for everybody. That was just like me this past weekend. You know, I had to take care of a bunch of work and you know, and house shit before I did anything. What's up, Gabe? Good to see you, man. I promise distributor is in the front. Yes, sir. I hope to see you soon. You know, we can, you know, bang some gears together soon. We had race 2 of 5. We'll talk about mags here in a minute, but we had race 2 of 5 this past weekend. Built my first LS in my son's truck last week. They're easy as hell. Yeah, they're not a hard. They're a bad engine, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. LS is a bad bitch. Just in the Fox bodies that we deal with, there's really no reason to have it because you mean Coyotes. You still got to change K members, and you still got to get a fuel system. You still got to get a damn wiring harness. So why don't you just put a Coyote in it? It makes the same horsepower. Potentiality is still the same. I mean, I know LS has got really good heads, but Coyote's got good heads. Hail to the yes. We got a new member. I appreciate you, Bill Rollins, for joining up for the month. If you guys wanted to join up for our membership, we got a monthly subscription to some extra content, and I usually, try to blog in there a little bit. It's appreciated, man. It helps with the channel quite a bit, more than you guys know. Nick in the house. Speaking of T5 being weak, is it normal for a T5 to grind in the second and third only when it's cold? No. When it's hot, just means that your synchros are bad. I would 100% get it out and get the synchros messed up. What's up, Vance Cooper in the house? So you guys know that we stick shift race a lot, and Vance has got one of the coolest shit that we had at Mags last night was the fact that we had a Civic, 8-second Civic front wheel drive. We had a Cadillac LS Cadillac, right? Stick shift Cadillac, turbo Cadillac. We had a LS turbo Camaro, like a catfish Camaro. We had, what else do we have? We had an RX-7 LS swap big turbo, SN95 big turbo, big inch Windsor. There was me. There was an LS swap fox body nitrous. What else was there? I'm trying to remember what the other car was. Oh, there was a there was an S650 twin turbo Yodi. Like, we had probably one of the most diverse stick shift class last night, like I've ever seen race with, and it was super cool. Like, I mean, you seen there was 4 GM cars. I couldn't believe it. Like stick shift GM stuff. I mean, you don't see a lot of that stuff, and I love that shit. So I'm gonna show, since he's sitting here in chat, I'm gonna show y'all this freaking Cadillac 7935. Y'all gotta appreciate this shit. This is Vance Cooper here in chat. This is his car. Love that shit. It's a bad bitch, boys. Check this out, man. 8-second stick shift Cadillac. This is a stick shift H-pattern small tire Cadillac, bros. Now you don't see this shit. This car been. I've watched this car literally go out the back door 1.7. Super proud of him. He won the actual second chance race. Riding down one of the sketchiest tracks in Ohio. This shit is sketchy. Look at that. Anyway, I want to show you. Oh, there you go. He got us. Yeah, we did set a goal tonight for Super Chat, $10 plus. If we get 5 of them, I'll give away a dip in on that. Appreciate that. Check out his pass, dude. I always love to show off my member stuff. Check out Vance Cooper's pass. It's him right here in chat. Like I said, this car has been out the back door 170. Shoot. Oh. Sorry, Vance. I didn't get a good pass because obviously I can't get a whole lot of footage. I'm gonna have to hit up Corey from Spooled Media, but yeah, you can tell that car been on a pass a couple of times that night. It was pretty awesome. Hell yeah, man. I like to show you. I got a couple other ones I'm going to show you guys here. Hottest balls in Ohio, no doubt. Enjoying my 408 cam, feels like 282. So the two main things we're going to be talking about tonight for the next, however hour, 45 minutes, is we're going to be talking about one piece at a time, and then we're going to be talking about a recipe for, we're going to dip right in from the black car into my dad's car for the, this whole 10-second recipe thing. in there, you know, like the different ways that I've made 10-second cars or whatever. So that's where we're going to be heading. What plug did you run in your 363 build? We gap them at 18, or I think actually about 20 right now. I think it is. And we run the B8EFS. Does that sound right? Andrew, appreciate the $10 super chat, man. Thanks for donating to the channel. We'll use that for fuel and shit for the channel, man. Appreciate you. Mark Parker, appreciate you becoming a member for a month. Thanks so much for what you guys do for us, man, for sure. That caddy's a bad bitch. That's right, Bob. That's right. So what I ended up doing, too, yesterday was, we ended up having to fix the, we'll talk about the white car. I didn't even put it on the thumbnail, but when we talk about mags again, like it was a shit show. I didn't think I was even going to be able to race, to be honest with you. Do you ever think you'll do a Godzilla motor? No, probably not. If I did a modular, actually, I don't even think Godzilla is considered modular. I don't know. I guess I couldn't say that. I definitely want to dip into some of the newer motors. I think we'll do really well with the Yodi. To be honest with you, I just don't know if I have time to just learn a whole other platform. That is what's holding me back, like the most, is having to learn another platform. I know the Windsors so well at this point that like I can preach it and teach it and blow it up and fix it. And, whereas, Coyote's not, in building an engine, it's just learning the specs and knowing the ins and outs of what to do and not to do, that might screw you, it might mess you up or whatever. I don't know. I did a lot of driving last night. That's for sure. You ain't the only one. So we made a pretty good pass. I'm going to go ahead and show you. And this is going with the thing on the thumbnail with mags. You can see this track. This is our first pass. Now this is against Travis Civic, which is a known 8-second Civic. He's in the right lane. This is my draggy. I always like to bring as much footage. I think this POV, having the draggy like literally like where my mirror's at, my rear view mirror, is pretty cool. It doesn't really block much of my view at all. I never really did, but it gives you guys like a front and center. So this is James Lizer, who is one of the owners, workers with Stripper Glitter, and that's Chris Lane. He is the flagger. Real good friends of mine. These guys work super duper hard to keep this shit rolling. There's about 3 or 4 other ones, so I want to make a special shout out to those guys. They helped me line up tonight. It's like no prep. We don't have any tree here. This guy's you can see Chris has got a little button behind his hand. What he does is he goes over to one car and he goes over to my car and he finds out, hey, are you bumping in? You know what I mean? And then he flags us and then we hit the light. 2 means that I don't bump in. I'm good. I'm clear. And what he'll do is he'll get us ready. When he raises his hand on one hand, that guy can do his 2-step and he raises it. You see what I mean? You'll see him do it. My dragging kind of blocked my first time. I had to let that go a little bit. Wasn't very fast pass at all. We still won 110, but you can see this track. This left lane was giving me fits all night long. Right lane was tight. I don't know why it flew right. Right here. But that was our first pass. It was pretty cool. But that's how no prep works, at least on the backsides and street racing and stuff like that. Usually there's a flagger that brings you in. They'll flag you to two-step, flag you to rev limit, 2-step, whatever, and then they'll hit a light, flashlight, whatever. I love that type of racing. Get rid of that bullshit yellow bulbs crap. I don't mind some 400 tree racing. Don't get me wrong. That's OG shit. But like I refuse to do a sportsman tree anymore. Like yellow. I'm sleeping at the light. Always sleeping at the light. Neo, would you be nice to see the Black Car 393 with coil on plugs? Yes. So once we get the 360, or excuse me, the 393 rolling on a TFI, we're going to do coil on plug, the budget LS swap, or excuse me, the LS coil you can do a coil on plug with an A9L. But we're probably going to switch to our Terminator X with the 393, and we're going to do like a conversion. Like we're going to make power on the A9L and the chip and the quarter horse, and then we're going to do a Terminator X swap and see if we can pick up a little power in the fine tuning of the cells or whatever the hell you want to call it. Chris said they had to mow the shutdown. Jesus. Is that TKX holding up with that turbo motor? That's not a TKX in that car. What mount do you use? Mine's shaky horribly. What mount? The iPhone, mine still shakes a lot if you're talking about the iPhone mount. The Draggy incorporated in the video. It's cool. Yeah. 427 Godzilla is a push rod. That's what I thought. Godzilla is basically Ford's take on the LS. That's what I was afraid of. That there's a T56 in the white car. The black car's got the TKX, but we made really good power on the black car. So this was my going back to the mags. This was my test pass. Now this shit was a pass. I'm not gonna say what it was, but it was. Yeah. Right down bottom. Short cylinder. 115. I think I went, what was it, 60, 604? I was close to 5. I was tickling 590s on that surface, but I short shifted third here. You could hear it. That's what you do with a track that's kind of really not hold up. You can hear it. I definitely short shifted third. If I would have had that pass against, that's a 132 60 foot, because draggies are always about 500 off. That's pretty good for a drag for mags, but we did pretty good. We didn't put it into a wall. The last pass against John Askey, who ended up winning, he had a twin turbo Yodi. Yeah, that one I had to let go. Do you think you can get 10 seconds without the black car NA? Do you think you can get 10s? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. So the recipe for the black car, I'm going to show you this is my last pass real quick, and then we'll talk about mags. So this is the semifinals against John Askey, which basically finals guy actually broke behind me, so there wasn't even a final. But Chris was flying all night. Sometimes you gotta let him go, boys. Went right to the wall. Right here. Let it go. That's racing right there. I had him. I think it was when I punched third, right at the bottom, right at the top of the second, I punched third and pulled me right into the wall. Look at it right here. I was almost on the grass. The grass would have sucked me right into the wall. I had to let it go. So mad. So that run right there cost me $750 at a minimum. $1,300 because the winner won $1,300 and then the runner-up won $750. And I'm really happy for Chris Markham. His car was flying all night long. He had the silver turbo LS Camaro, which you guys will see in the video. Yeah, really proud of him. He's been keeping his shit together all year, and he's been doing really good. And he finally got a chance to win a little bit of cash, so I'm proud of him. And same with John Askey. He's been, I raced John in the finals, the guy I just lost to, and his car's fast as hell. Probably one of, if not the fastest no prep stick shift Yodi car in America. It's twin turbo. It's a bad bitch. Makes like 1,500 horsepower. It's a stick shift car. You make anywhere near 1,500 horsepower with a stick shift car and you're keeping it together, let alone racing no prep. That's to be dealt with, bro. But I'm proud of those guys. It was a good field of people at Mags for stick shift. There was 9 cars. Winner paid $1,300. Runner up was $750, and we gave $300 to a second chance. So big thanks to Handler Motorsports, Stiflers, and Bunker Hill Fabrication for putting money on these classes for the whole year. So it's going to be much like that. So I hope to see like that more often. So anyways, 10 seconds. Let's go into the whole 10-second recipe with the black car. I honestly think there's two cars that we're messing with right now with the 10-second recipe. It's our goal on Dad's car, and it's our goal in the black car to run literally the fastest time. Like it's like a challenge at this point. We're going to run it with the naturally aspirated and a 393, kind of like one end of the spectrum and the other. You know what I'm saying? So Dad's car is more of a GT40 junkyard build, budget build. Got a budget turbo build on it. It's got a good tune in it, so that's like really important. T5, it does have a built axle. It's 31 spline C-clip eliminator, but you don't want to be running out there in some stock axle shit. We done tried that and broke some stuff up. But my goal this year, on side note, keep outside of keeping the white car running, is to get this black car into the 10s fully loaded. I'm going to put the bumpers back on. I'm going to put the hood back on. I mean, when I say my black car is fully loaded, it's full weight. It's actually heavier than normal. With the cage, it's probably 3,400, but there's multiple ways to get that 10-second recipe. And I know 10s aren't. We live in this time and age where you see TikTok and Instagram and you see all this bullshit where you get 15 seconds of you get 15 seconds of glory. You see this guy run his pass, like I run my draggy or whatever, and then I say, oh, this is a junkyard GT40 boner, blah blah blah, and you get this facade in your mind that, oh, it's an easy build. I can just put an LS in there, or I can just put a GT40 heads on and put a turbo on, or I can just build a big inch windsor or whatever. You don't see the 1,000 hours it took or the 500 hours it took to build the motor, build the car, build the suspension. You just see the 15 seconds of what happens, and like, oh, it's just like, and then it's on to the next clip, whatever. And that's one thing I don't like about social media is it entitles our brain to this dopamine effect of just constantly seeing really cool shit, but you don't never see the struggle. You don't never see the weight and the period of time that's elapsed and the money and the sacrifice it took to make that, to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to put respect on that, because like, to get into the 10s with an all motor car full weight, and to get into the 10s with even something super budget like my dad's car that's literally like a stock foxbody suspension, is a feat. Like, I mean, these guys out there, these internet warriors out there, you guys all know them. They're all chatting over there on Facebook and shit. They're like, oh, my car runs 9s. Yeah, where's the footage, bro? Like, if it's on YouTube, man, show me, bro. I appreciate it. If it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, show it. My car, I'm happy to say I went 889 was the fastest we ever went with the white car. That means it got 70s and 60s in it. Yeah, but I'm happy where it's at. I don't need to be the fastest car. I don't need to win no damn car show. I like my shit. You know what I mean? I like the fact that we're going to be chasing 1090s in the black car, bro. That shit's fun to me. It might not be fun to some of you guys. You guys might not have the time to have more than one car build, but a lot of you guys can relate to what I'm talking about. And it's what we do here on the channel, man. Just because we got a bougie ass 363 motor and a half bougie ass 393 don't mean that we don't like our GT40. I like my GT40 shit like literally the best, because we blow it up, we kind of laugh at it a little bit and say, well, on to the next motor. I mean, it is what it is. We're building a no machine shop GT40 build in cousin Paul's car, Sandy's little blue Smurf car. So, because she done beat the shit out that car, not the car, but the motor. I mean, and it works just fine. There ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just, we're going to put a fresh flip piston type bullshit in it, maybe even put a little camshaft with some rockers and stuff. I mean, we'll try to pull a little more horses out of it, and she can't run some mid-13s in that car. Like the 4K trans and $2,000 converter. That's what I'm talking about. But I mean, what Harley say? 500 horsepower and foxbody is a ton of power for that light car. That's we talked about this in the live like 2 months ago. 500 horsepower is dangerous in a foxbody. 500 horsepower in any car is dangerous. Like being able to have a 500 horsepower to the wheels, turbo, supercharged, naturally aspirated. Car, I mean, nitrous is its own. I mean, usually nitrous is, usually has to do with like a big inch windsor or some sort of built motor for nitrous, and you might see 400 wheel in that motor or 450 wheel or some shit, and then have like 300 shot of nitrous and run like nines, and that's cool. But what I'm talking about is like having 500 horsepower on the street all the time, and you don't have the right suspension, you don't have the right tire, you don't have the right, setup in your car. You're going to put that thing in a ditch pot. It's a possibility you might, you might hurt yourself and the damn car. I mean, 500 has been so normalized in 2025, but like how many 500 horsepower cars are running around on the streets? It really is not a lot, if any. And it's fun to do. I mean, we've just normalized it so much because we see it so much on social media anymore. I mean, tell me I'm not wrong. You see it on TikTok, you see it on Instagram, you see, 1,000 horsepower this, 1,500 horsepower that. I mean, where does it end? We talked about it. We talked about it in live stream like a month ago. When is enough? That's why in this channel, that's what we're doing with the black car. One piece at a time. We're going to create another 10-second streetcar where if it runs 1090s, 1099, we've fulfilled our accomplishments. And I think the 393, with the way it's built and the heads that are on it, I should have no problem getting into the 10s with that car. And, with Dad's car sitting at about 13 or 14 pounds of boost, there should be no reason why we couldn't get into 10s. And then that would make for a cool street race. Make for a cool street race here on the channel. Nothing special. Per se, put a couple tires, throw some stripper glitter down on the damn street and go, me and cousin Paul go race it out. Be some fun shit. I'm going to tree his ass. I'm going to be a car ahead of him before he shifts in the first. I'm just kidding, man. Cousin Paul knows how to bang gears really well. I know he probably watched. I love you, brother. I'm just messing with you, bro. Working on the interior wiring. It's definitely a mess. I'd like a quick car in the future. Happy with what I have for now. Yeah, just be happy with it, man. That's exactly it, man. You just got to be happy with what you own. The recipe to a 10-second streetcar has always been something, even since the 90s, with the way technology is now and the way you can get power adders now, it's almost to the point to where you could make, if you make 500 wheel, you're going to run a 10. You just got to get the car to act right. We spend all this money on this horsepower and shit, right? And then we don't spend nothing on the damn axle. We don't spend nothing on the transmission. We don't spend nothing on the suspension. And then we go out there and shit a brick when we go to the track, and then we never actually identify what the problem is. It's more than just the motor. Power is not that hard to make right now. You just got to enjoy what you own, man. Are aftermarket 1.6 rockers worth anything over stock rockers? Yeah, 100%. Mine's cruised in the 12s. That's not wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that at all. How much does your vert weigh? Me? I don't have a convertible. Or did somebody say that? I think we forgot at what 5. That's right. You're 100% right. I think we did forget what 500 horsepower really feels like. And you got these, people talking that, hey, I got 1,000 horsepower car or 800 horsepower car, and they're driving around the street. I'm going to be honest with you. We make like 970 wheel with the white car, like literally 1,000, like 1,100 torque, right? We make 1,000 horsepower. But we're not riding around on kill, bro. We're riding around on like 700. Like that's an all motor monster 427 horsepower number. And a 427 hopped up isn't going to make 700 wheel. It might make 700 crank. But, point of the matter is, we don't ride around. We barely drive our white car. That's the whole reason for the black car build, is I'm going to drive a black car every damn day at 500 wheel, not on kill. It's naturally aspirated, so there's not even power added. So that's the goal. Have a 500 horsepower naturally aspirated 393, 3-inch exhaust, big exhaust, breathes really good. Put some mufflers on it, do some cam videos, and y'all gonna get tired of my muffler shit. I'm gonna put so many mufflers on this car. It's going to sound like one of the videos is going to sound like a damn Honda. I don't know. We'll put courses on there and see if the push rods actually make those mufflers sound good. Because Lord knows those things sound like shit on a Yodi. Said what it said. I'm rocking that old school FMU. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. We ran the FMU we did a whole playlist on FMU. That shit works. About 8 to 9 pounds of boost, FMU. You could run 24s, just so you know, as long as you run a 19-pound disc in the FMU, you can drown it out a little bit for sure. Run that shit fat. Have some fun with it. 500 horsepower is a ton of power, boys. I believe it or not, 500 horsepower, 3K race weight, right suspension, prep track, 9's guaranteed. Did it with S10 10 years ago. See? 500 horsepower, and it's not even that hard to get, per se. The Route 11 Nationals. You're damn right, Chris. Be looking for some more black streaks on Route 11, brother. I don't give a shit. Hey, Neo, I'm not sure if you have a pair laying around, but I have AFR 195s. That's 195 heads. Can you see how they'd run on a 302, 306 with a fat cam? They should run pretty good. Twisted wedges, mine, though. I hate courses on a Yodi. It's terrible. It's bad. It's bad. Like, put that shit in quiet mode. I'm done with it. You know what I mean? I'm done with it. What's up with the red croup sitting in your videos? Oh, you talk about the one in the background? You ain't LS swapping that shit, Bob. Come on. We know what you do over there. We know what you do over there with Bob Brown Customs. Come on. I'm just kidding. No, that's the one that cousin Paul is supposed to be putting. We're supposed to be doing a Yodi with. Possibly. Even the car dealers are getting into the horsepower rage. The new ZR1X Corvette 1250 is ridiculous. What you gonna do with 1250 on the street besides spin tire and lose to a 500 horsepower Fox body that has suspension? See, got two Yodis. That's what I'm talking about. Push rod power hits different, all the torque right way. That's correct. I was actually talking to John Askey about that when we were walking through the lanes. He's like, you got that push rod life. He's like, you got all the torque coming out that hole. I was like, shit, all of it. I got 1,000 torque coming out of the hole on two-step. He's like, Yodis, we don't make that shit till like 8,000, 7,000 RPM. We got to wait to make that power. But I mean, not power, but torque, whatever. X pipe and 40s are the real tone. Well, we're putting those old 40s back on, the 40 series. We're not going to put the Deltas back on. But I'm pretty excited because once we get this we're going to get this 393 fired this week because we got the Mags video coming out Tuesday. And the next video past that should have us firing this car up. But, I mean, to be honest with you, the recipe for 10-second is either build a big inch Windsor with some good heads and a good exhaust, or find yourself a junkyard GT40 motor and slap a turbo on it. Don't tell me you can't do it, because my buddy Randy Davis here in town did it for years. He literally took an Explorer motor and he put an F-cam in it, changed the valve springs like we talk about, put head studs on it and good head gaskets. I mean, he freshened the motor up, made it clean, didn't do anything else. Put an on-3 kit, made 15 pounds of boost, made like 530 wheel. I said what I said. I don't know if it was 15. I think he was 12 or 14. But he did it on Explorer pistons, and I watched him run 1040s in that car, 1050s in that car, and it was a full way. It's been on the channel. It's that really pretty dark blue. I think it's dark shadow metallic. I think it's an 88. But it's a friend of mine. He's actually putting a Windsor 9.5 deck 351 in now. So, but yeah, I mean, that to me, that's now Yodis can make 500 wheel, but you're talking about a 321 build. You're talking about like an illuminator. You got to do quite a bit of things to make a Yodi make 500 wheel. I mean, they'll make 350. Like a Gen 1, I think I was talking to Donnie B at Anderson Ford Motorsports, and I think we were talking on his dyno, and it was the same as mine. Gen 1s usually run about 330, 350-ish horsepower, depending on cams and stuff. Gen 2 is usually 375, 380, and Gen 3s are just over 400. So my whole 387 build was built trying to be not a coyote killer, but like on par with like a budget style Windsor motor that could be par with a junkyard style drop-in Yodi motor. You know what I mean? So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's very accurate numbers for a junkyard Coyote, just a base drop-in. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about big cams, and I'm not talking about, you know, sleeving and all that other stuff, you know, because, you know, Yodis, you could really put some, you know, make some really good power with them naturally aspirated. But I'm just talking about like what we have on the stand over here, some oil pump gears, maybe put an intake on it. It'll make, you know, X amount of horsepower. So I think Jones Flowmax saw a brutal video on them. Yeah, he did a really good video on Jones. Coyotes run their headers too large. Fox body knowledge would still apply at Coyote if you forget about the silly. That's right. You could kill the power, the pulse rate. I will say my Cuz 331's SN95 Pro Charger and Mac 3-inch. It's a beat the sounding car I've ever seen. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Well, we're getting the violators. Violators are going to be so. Last year when we built the 387 before we sent it to its demise, its early grave, which we never should have happened. You know, I mean, if I had to just put a good oil pan on the damn motor, it would still be in the car right now. But anyways, moving on past that, you know, I think we're going to be, you know, we're going to do the Mac video. We're going to do a Flowmaster video again. And then we got FP. I wanted to show you guys, I got 3 sets of mufflers that I'm going to be giving away on the channel. And it's going to be happening this summer. So we got to kind of get this car running. We talked about doing this last year and we didn't really get into any of it because, you know, the 387 went down. And by the time I got to the Vibrants to put them on, you know, Cassius over at Vibrant gave us a set of 3-inch, you know, mufflers for the channel. You know, I'm going to run the video, run them on my car for a week. And then every week we'll do a video with mufflers. It's kind of an easy video for me to do. I got the exhaust set up to where I can hot swap them pretty good, but I do have a new set of mufflers that were actually donated to us. They're FP Performance. You guys ever heard of them? I'm going to show you guys this muffler. So shout out to those guys for, you know, sending it. They mainly gave Hanlon Motorsports the Hanlon talked us up at Carlisle, and I guess this FP Performance was at Carlisle, and they said, hey, we would like to do something with Dan on, you know, his channel. But yeah, I'm going to show them real quick. So I didn't get a chance to go to Carlisle, but, you know, Hanlon grabbed these and snagged these up for me. They're pretty nice little mufflers, man. I mean, I think this is stainless, right? FP Performance. You guys ever heard of these guys before? It's a chambered muffler. You can see inside there. Yeah. Might be like a Mac knockoff. That would be really cool. But we're gonna stick these on. We're gonna do the Mac video. We'll get the car running first. We'll get it tuned, whatever. But I'm pretty sure the 387 tune is gonna be fine. We'll do the Mac video. We'll do the Flowmaster video. We'll do the comparison, and then we'll put these on. I'll show you another set of mufflers. We're gonna be giving those away on the channel. Somebody after we do the video. Another one we're going to do is the SLP Loudmouth, which we've had sitting over here for a while. We're going to keep those. We're not giving those away. I need to change my car. Yeah, that a Honda muffler. I'll put a Honda muffler on that shit. I don't give a damn and do a video on it. You know I will. You know I will. I don't care. But these are the Vibrants that Cassius gave us. We're going to go ahead and stick these on as well. These are bad little bitches here. Nice little muffler. We'll have to make an attachment for the in and out. But we've had these sit over. I mean, I've been wanting to give these away for so long, but I mean, I want to put them on the car, see what they sound like first, you know. We have Borla mufflers, but we're not going to give those away. Those are actually part of my turbo exhaust, so I might just buy some new ones. But that's what I do with the channel. You know, some of the channel money is going to be buying some of these mufflers so we can do some cool shit like that. You know, I like to give away 2 or 3 or 4 sets this year. Couple camshafts. You guys know we don't mess around on the channel. Shit, we've given away 4 camshafts already this year. Right? Anyway, yo, good seeing you last night, homie. I appreciate you, man. You got a video out yet, Steve? Appreciate you stopping in, brother. You guys did a wonderful job yesterday on the whole event, even though they had a couple oil downs. I need GT tailpipes. These dumps are starting to suck. Windows get done when stopped smelling exhaust. Yeah, I get that, man. Don't get me wrong. The dump at the axle is cool, and it sounds super good, but it does smell the car up for sure. I like the vibrance. They do have a pretty mellow sound. Unfortunately, no video this time, just a bunch of short form content. I like that. Yeah, you're running a tire crack. Did a good job, man. I appreciate you. I called Anderson trying to order a Mr. Freeze, and Donnie B answered the phone and said they're coming out with a new version with an upgraded tank. That's right. What's your go-to for boost control? I use CO2 and I just tune it in with I got CO2 on the dome. But as far as like the budget way of doing it, whatever, I'll use a Grimspeed. Grimspeed's got this little like clicker or whatever that we've been using for years. It works out pretty good. What's up, Lamar? Good to see you, man. Lamar got his engine running pretty decent. That's a motor that we had here on the channel that came out of the old SSP car. So proud of him for getting his shit out the Jackson. It's been 20 years, dude. Lamar, it took him 20, and I didn't take him 20 years, but after 20 years, he got tired of it. He got that shit done, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Stripper Glitter. That's my dudes, man. Hell yeah. Shout out. But anyways, going back to what we were talking about with the 10-second, streetcar recipe, 500 horsepower has always been the goal. Like it's always been like the number that it was just above what was achievable, relatively cheap. It was all to get 500 wheel. You got to dig into your pockets a little bit for a set of cylinder heads. Maybe a good top end kit, big cam, big inch Windsor, or even just do like a turbo kit. And we have forgotten, since the 90s, to early 2000s, we have literally just forgotten what 500 wheel feels like, especially in a 3,000 pound Fox body. I mean, a 500 wheel in a 3,000 pound Fox body feels like, 800 wheel in a Camaro, or it could, or 750 or 800 wheel in a Vet. I don't even know how much Vets weigh, but I think they weigh like 4,000, right? I don't know. It's our hell pack. It's our scat pack. What's a scat pack Fox body? I don't know, a 408 with a 3-inch exhaust. That's our modern day scat pack for a Fox body. We don't need that shit, baby. I'll check it out, Chris. Oh, I changed mufflers. 22 years down. Well, you know what? It's appreciated, man. You got that shit off the jack stands. So 3,300. I mean, Vets are like what, 800 wheel? Rowdy, baby. Poor man's supercar, dude. Fox buys poor man's supercar. Get 500 wheel in a Fox body. Go door to door with a scat pack all day, or whatever. Bassani's a good one with the N41. Driver Joe just picked up some Max. Man, tell you what, you got lucky. Just so you guys know, Mac hasn't made a muffler since, when did they go out of business? 2017? Has it been that long? Has it been longer than that? So when you get an opportunity to get a Mac Pro chamber, they called them flow pass. That was the Mac muffler. Usually the Pro chamber is very proprietary. You can't miss out what it looks like. It's got a big box in the middle of the H pipe. You know, if you can get a 3-inch version of a Mac Pro chamber with Mac flow pass, that's like the holy grail of exhaust. Because if I remember correctly, Mac you could use as an H pipe with shorties, and I think it had little ball and sock. What the hell they call that? Like a ball flange that you can take. Like there's a ball flange in the long pipe before the chamber, and I think if I remember correctly, they make a set of Mac long tubes. Like that whole exhaust was cool because you could buy the H pipe, run the Mac shorties, and then later get the long tubes and not have to change shit because the long tubes would fit you would take the one section out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you would take the one section out and the long tubes would fit right up to the ball. Come on. I would love to hear some Sonoma's bullet mufflers. I never heard of them before. What's the deal with changing the Holley Pro Dash causing an alternator not to charging? I don't even know, brother. I used to love Mac Pro Dumps 15 years ago. Never forget that shit. My car makes 1,000 wheel and it's pretty dumb. Yeah, you know, man. You definitely don't drive that out when rain's coming. That's for sure. 1,000 wheel and a 3,300 pound. Jesus, that's about what a foxbody fully loaded GT weighs. So yeah, I can only imagine. That'd be crazy. So anyway. $10 streetcar. That's what we want. Can you handle it? 500 horsepower streetcar. Can you handle it? You know, you guys, what's your guys' if you got a recipe, if you got a car that makes 500 all motor or got a little budget one that makes 500, hit it up in chat. Like confirm 500, not like seat of the pants. Yeah, this thing makes. How many times y'all heard that shit at a car show or whatever? Like, yeah, it makes like 800 horsepower. How do you know it makes 800 more? I put it on my dyno. If it makes 386, I'll give you your money back. I don't know how many times I've said that to people. I'm walking through a car show. I'm like, yeah, this car makes like 600 wheel. I was like, what motor's in it? Yeah, it's a 306 with Edelbrock street heads. I'm like, it don't make no 600 wheel, bro. Come on. It don't make no, you ain't doing that on no carbureted single plane or dual plane or whatever. I don't want to make fun of nobody's car, but we all got them guys that we've met, you know, people that we've met in our life that just, I mean, do not know what horsepower feels like. What oil pump do you recommend for a 302? Dude, your standard Melling 68. You don't need a high volume. You don't need a high pressure. You don't need none of that shit. You suck the oil right out of the pan. You know, you can do that with a standard pump at higher RPMs. If you're going to change the oil pump, make sure you change the oil pump drive shaft to an ARP. Spend the $15 freaking dollars and get the ARP drive shaft. Because if you put that stock one back in, it's going to look like a Twizzler, I'm telling you. If it don't already. Probably one of the weakest points in a 302 is the oil pump drive. There's your tip for the live stream right there, folks. 351, 302, push rod shit. Your distributor oil pump drive shaft must be replaced if you do anything to that motor. Otherwise, it's a ticking time bomb like the capacitors on an A9L. The shit's just going to fail. And then you're not even going to pay attention. And by the time you pay attention to the oil, oh shit, I ain't got no oil pressure. You done ruined the bearings. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know 5 times. Yeah, it's happened a number of times. So every time we build a motor, whether it's stock 302, bone stock 302, or a 393 freaking 750 crank motor, it doesn't matter. It's going to get an ARP drive. And it's like $15, yo. It's like just get it. Mine makes 120 all day. Let's go. Let's go. I just say, oh yeah, is that right? Yes. Right. Oh yeah, is that right? Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? You know what I'm talking about, Steve? Shit. Would you look at that? How dare you say my cousin's uncle brother did that? Let me tell you what, though. Some of them stories is real. Some of them stories is real. You just got to know who you're talking to, because I've been corrected before. And, you know, the guy drives up in this freaking 428 Cobra Jet motor in his little ass freaking Mustang, and he pops a wheelie in the street. So I've been corrected before, bro. 2005 NMCA Mean Street made 441 wheel, 3200 radial untouched, 1030s all motor. That's freaking awesome. You make it look easy, Gabe. It's not fun. You make that look. If you guys don't know who Gabe Large is, he's like my buddy John Kinter. These guys have been running, you know, True Street, Pure Street, Hot Street, Mean Street, back when the word street was street, and you could only run certain things at NMCA, NMRA when it actually was fun, in my opinion. These guys were running, you know, all out. You know, 1030s was fast as hell back in 2005. You know, 1030s is fast as hell in general. But, you know, 20 years ago, I mean, we were just getting SCT 4-bank chips back then. There was no Holley Terminator X. You had to lock timing out and shit. You had to mess with FMUs. I mean, the 90s, you know, shit, we didn't even have turbo kits. I don't think On 3 was even on the scene till like 2007. So what the hell was you driving, bro? You know what I mean? We soon forget that. Shelby County. I bought most ARP everything. Of course, it's still in pieces. Bro, come on. You got, you know, I know you got that new family though, baby. You know, I got that. So I hope the family's doing good, Shelby. I hope the family's doing good. You always talking about Ford stuff. It's just Spanish to me. Look, it's car shit, baby. This is Jack Stand Church, Steve. I don't care if people is working on a Fox bodies is just what I relate to. I'm pretty sure Chevy motors, at least push rods, all suffer from the same shit that Ford motors do when it comes to the dumb stuff like the distributor gear or whatever. I'm still running an FMU on my 95 supercharged Civic. Why don't you bring that thing out and race it a little bit? Thank you for dealing with the unknown problem recently. Stock oil pressure gauge is questionably lately. So you think maybe the drive shaft is bad? Gabe, what kind of times is factory stock NMRA running back in Bruce Heminger days? Incan. Yeah, bro. There's somebody said it. I figured somebody was going to talk about Incan. Incan was the 90s, early 2000s turbo kit. Notch the frame and run twins for 700. You're damn right. There were manifolds, too. They actually, from what I understand, if I remember correctly, Incan was designed with the Corvettes first. I think the Mustang kit was limited production. And it was twin. I get that all over my face now. Yeah, he's a GM guy, bro. So he's all in this. He's all in Espanol. Super Dave. It's a garage for you. It gets your ice cream home before that shit melts. I know. I was the underdog. You don't look very underdog on the bumper in that damn picture. I was underdog in NMRA Hot Street in 2005. I mean, you're staring at the sky in that picture, bro. I wouldn't underdog shit. That's probably 5 or 6, 700 torque on all of it in the first 60 foot, baby. He dragging the bumper on that thing. You won't need a new bumper. Love it. How bad would GT40P spark plug location on 3? It's actually not bad at all. I think number one. Well, a couple of them suck to get to, but they're no different than regular headers. Heminger days is 1090s factory stock, as I recall right, and they went real street running 400 horsepower NX kits with us. Incan turbo kits were designed in United Emirates. My Fox will be back on jack stands again for a bit until I figure out oil pressure and intermittent fuel pressure problem. Oil pressure might be your drive shaft. Another thing you need to understand, last cyborg, might have to pull the motor. Two things you want to look at. One, you want to look at your pickup tube. If your pickup tube cracked, then your oil pump's going to fluctuate all over the pump. Your oil pressure is going to fluctuate all over the place because it's trying to, well, I mean, have you ever tried to drink freaking Coca-Cola through a straw that's cracked? You don't get very much pressure. So it still works, but doesn't work very good. Ask me how I know that. Shit. And the second one might have intermittent oil pressure problems is the drive shaft I was just talking about. Your drive shaft might be going out. You might not even have one. You know what I mean? So I bet you your pickup tube is bad. That's not uncommon. First year NMRA factory stock 2000 1260 1280s would win, but by 2010 it was well into the 10s. Jesus. Yeah, there was a lot of like technology and horsepower gains in like the 2000 to like the 2010 range, at least for it didn't matter if it was Ford shit. LS's didn't LS motors didn't they come out in like early 2000? Like, and then they started hitting the junkyards in like 2010-ish. Like, people were just going crazy with these motors and putting them in like everything, like they still do now. But I mean, there's other things like Yotis, and you know, there's other motors, Godzillas, there's other engines to in it that you can use. But the point of the matter is there was a real massive, and I think it has to do with technology. I mean, technology has advanced so much in 20, 25 years. You know what I mean? You know, especially from like 2000 to like 2010, because then you had, you know, you had SCT and 4-bank chip quarter horse tuning. You had a lot of dyno tuning with A9Ls and kind of dialing all those combos in from the 90s and early 2000s. You know, all the cylinder heads and all the camshafts and all the shit that we built all in the years that we had to lock timing for and cheat like fuel pressure. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, there was such a technology push from 2000 to 2010. You had On3 come on board with the cheap turbo kits, the cheaper, more budget turbo kits. I mean, you didn't even really see a real big push in turbo because of Inkin. You know, you started seeing B&G turbo and Pony Down and Helion, and you seen all these companies jumping, you know, throwing their hat into the ring, and that's a good time, man. The shit, and it just felt like the shit just went so fast. Like, you went from like, you know, mid 12s was fast to like now you were tickling 9s. And it's just like, geez. I mean, the power went from like, man, if you made 500 wheel in the street like 20 years ago, like people knew who you were, bro. Like, you wasn't getting beat. You know, you were having to put some weight in the trunk just to keep that ass from flying into the ditch. I mean, I said what I said, you know. Now it's like 500 is like so normalized 15 years past that because of Holley Terminator X's and the Dominators and the E85 and the fuel systems and, you know, all that good shit. You know what I mean? The LSs came out with several versions. Yoti's out with several versions. Big inch windsors, cylinder head technology, camshaft technology, man. We're spoiled people, man. We're spoiled as hell. 2000 to 2010 was definitely an interesting time to have to be into the car racing / street racing / modifying. Like, you know, it was definitely interesting for sure. That's when I started getting into the whole dynoing thing. And that's when I first started doing my videos towards the end of that. Started doing some of those videos with the TI dyno, and my buddy Mustang Mike, who had passed away. God bless his soul. He had a D1R Pro Charger on a 393, which is much the same like this. Bad bitch, man. He was on Pinks. If y'all remember that show. Yeah. Good times, baby. And it didn't matter if it was GM, Ford, Chrysler. It didn't matter. You didn't have that go to the car lot and get a 800 horsepower Scat Pack. You didn't have none of that shit. What's up, Roy? Good to see you, brother. So, yeah, take me back, baby. Take me back. Don't forget about the old car tech kits. Yeah, You're 100% right. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of things to choose from. You had like a supercharger or like a big inch stroker back in 2000, 2010, even in the 90s. I mean, hell, you didn't even have the stroker technology yet, really. I mean, you did, but it ain't shit like it is now. Tell me I'm wrong. Mustangs went crazy when Bill Glenn went to, yup. Rules changed a lot. First off, it was required stock OEM cam, and then it was required power steering, stock K member, but then 480 lift cam, that was B cam, or rockers. 4-valve got fast. Yep, Glidden woke the Ford small block world up. That's right. Pink's was awesome. It was a pretty good show. Nothing can beat, what was it, Randy Johnson on, what was that? What was the name of that show? Pastime. No, it's just a B cam. Dude busts out like an 880. I think that was probably one of my favorite episodes, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Randy Johnson. He had probably one of the most famous. And that was back before like internet. That was back before like social media was social media. Could you imagine if Randy Johnson on Pastime would have made that 8-second pass on a B cam stock bottom N302, which we all know wasn't it? That show was fucking funny. Excuse my French, but that shit was funny, bro. He's like, yeah, stock bottom and B cam, 100 shot nitrous, plus 880s. No. They all had him guessing to go 11, 12s. It was wrong, bro. Stock scat packs get gapped by 30288 GT. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like Hellcats. What am I saying it wrong? Scat pack is what? That's the naturally aspirated version. What do they make? Like 400 wheel? 500 wheel? Try not to. You got a bunch of shit in this left hand. Try not to get it all in my face. Anyway. Take me back, bro. We ever invent time machines? I'm going back to the 90s. They ever invented a time machine? I'm going back to the 90s. See y'all later. Randy Jackson, that's his name. I thought it was Johnson. Good friend of mine. They were pissed at him even after he gave them all the t-shirts. Could you imagine if that would have been like social media, like if we'd have had TikTok and Instagram and all that shit back then? That shit would have been viral. It's viral now every time it gets brought up. It's just a streetcar. Heavy ass boots. Chargers and Challengers are like yachts on wheels. Memory lane is a fun drive. Scat packs makes 485 crank. So what is that? Like 400 wheel, 380. Crazy. Anyways, we got to give away a banner. We're about an hour and 15 in. I know it's kind of late. We're about 10:45 here my time. I got it on late, but I like, Sundays are my favorite time. We are doing a Jack Stand church shirt soon. So if you guys want to check out my merch at neomustangs.com, I appreciate that. We haven't updated more merch. I mean, we have a lot on there now. We got a Stick Shift Life brand that we did. I thought it did pretty well. We got transmission non-branded, like it doesn't say Neo on it at all. T56, TKX, G101A, and the OG T5. Got some really cool t-shirts on there too. Really cool hats. You guys go check it out, neomustangs.com. Check, support the channel, get some cool merch and shit. But we are making a Jack Stand shirt just for the channel here on Sunday. So I could do like not only just like a giveaway, but we can do like a buy into a new camshaft, because I want to kind of get into that stuff to where we can on a live stream we can do like a t-shirt 24 48 hour, like I don't know, buy-in giveaway, whatever, for the I think we did it once with one of the other camshafts. So speaking of camshafts, Gunner Smith, I will have your camshaft out tomorrow, Tuesday. He won a N41 camshaft courtesy of Anderson Ford Motorsport Donnie B at Anderson Ford Motorsports. So appreciate you, Donnie B, for what you do for us. I appreciate what he does for the whole community. It's not just me. Works a lot with Brutal, way more than he works with me. Or excuse me, works a lot with Brutal, has nothing to do with me or whatever. I appreciate what he does for the whole community. So, all right, Mustang guy, it's good to see you, man. I didn't even see you in the chat, bro. It's good to see you tonight. Still daylight, keep preaching. Yeah, it's not here, man. It's I'm hearing the birds. First time catching a live. Good stuff, man. Ohio here too. Man, I appreciate you stopping in, bro. That's a hell of an OBS sitting in your or a little Bronco. I love the old Broncos. Yeah, man. It's I wanted to do the only reason why I didn't ship it out. I wanted to do another plug on it. And if you guys don't know what a plug is, it's just like a 10 or 15, 20, 30 second little video. I did one for the man cam, stage 5 cam that went into 393, kind of something like that. You know, when somebody, especially when a sponsorship / company gives you something, you go out of your way to try to represent and sponsor them back. That's why I keep talking about Stiflers and Hamlin Motorsports, and I keep talking about Bunker Hill Fabrications. And we're going to do a little bit of something extra with them because they threw a lot of money on my stick shift point series this year. It may not seem like it's a lot of money, but to be honest with you, when you got 9 cars showing up for a stick shift event, no prep event, and 2,500 of the dollars are to be won between 3 people, that's pretty cool. Otherwise a normal event would be 9 cars and it would be $900 and there would probably be a split. So the point of the matter is you got to do what you can do for the sponsors, and I want to do an extra plug for Donnie B for what he does for us here. There's no money in almost t-shirt to say, yeah, man, that's the white car. That shirt, I made that shirt because I couldn't beat Tyler Garlock. And every time I was getting ready to get into the money and had to race his ass, I never got it. And then I made that t-shirt obviously is going to be working for tonight or for tomorrow night or whatever, because clearly we gave it away last night right here. Gave it away. This pass right here cost me $1,300. Sometimes you gotta let them passes go. We had them. Gotta let it go. $1,500 ain't worth my car no more. And that fence was about a foot away. We had a good time though. Big shout to John Askey. He does really well. He actually just put that car back together. He had some serious brake issues from the first time we raced in the finals at Kunle. So I'm proud of him for winning some money. I'm proud of Chris Markham for winning some money, and even Vance Cooper for getting him some second chance shit. So Donnie B is the man. He's helped quite a bit, and he's just a good dude in general. Thoughts on a roll cage? If you're gonna put a cage in your car, put the halo in. Just cert it to 850. You put a roll cage in. I mean, you're already busting your ass, slipping over the bar anyways. What's the halo? You don't even see it. I made that mistake on 2 different cars in general. You know what I mean? Roll bar, and then I had to go back and do the halo on both of them. Sucked. So, all right, let's give away a banner. So we're going to give away one of the last track ones. I think we have one more after this. So, big thanks to Mike Kidd at Tremec Transmission. We had we'll give away a Tremec banner because we had a stick shift event this past weekend where you can win a T56 Magnum. So, we also have another T56 Magnum win event for a 1 race in August coming up, but we haven't finalized anything. So, we'll go hashtag Tremec. Let me have it, and then we'll go ahead and get off the live stream for the night. And so hashtag Tremec if you're interested. I'll let that roll for a minute, and then we'll talk about the 3 videos I have coming up this week. I know I didn't really get much video out last week. Actually, the video that came out today was supposed to be last night or yesterday afternoon. Pretty much a normal schedule on Saturday, and we were racing, and I forgot to release the video. I forgot to schedule it because it was in the members chat. So I think it locks the members out from watching the video once I change it to our Premiere. So, guys, check out that join button. Want to become a member of the channel for a month or 2 months or 2 years? I don't care. I appreciate all my guys in green. If you're a member of the channel, you get a green name in chat, which you see here on live stream, which we have every damn week. So it's always kind of cool to kind of differentiate yourself from it. So big thanks to Nick and Mark Parker, Driver Joe, Bill Rollins. These guys are all members of my channel. And Nick, I think I said him, Roy Gustafson. Appreciate you guys so much. I always get a lot of members. Shelby County, Adventures with Super Dave, Ford Matt, just to name a few. Nate Tuck. Got some old members, man. We've been doing this about 4 years, so they've helped us out quite a bit. So, anyways, we got the Mags video, the race video. I always like putting that stuff out just to give you guys, an update on, all of our hard work on a white car. That's the nice thing about those videos is they give us a chance to, kind of catch up on all the hard work that we do on some of these cars. So we do have a shifter and a cable that we're putting on Dad's car. So that's a video that we may do this week because I'd like to take Dad's car back out and try to run, try to see where we're at on a good baseline because we didn't really get a good baseline last week. We got the black car we're firing up this week. We got the Magnolia video we got to do. We have a lot of content. We just got to work on it, and it's not really all that hard to do, and we'll get it out to you guys. And, of course, we're going to have our Jack Stand Church, that live stream life, because this is what I love. I love y'all. I appreciate every Sunday when you guys just listen to me yap for like an hour and a half. So, yeah. But we got a couple new members of the channel. So big thanks to Bill Rollins for membering up and Mark Parker, new members of the channel. And big thanks to Andrew McFall for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. We'll put that towards the channel. You get that clutch cable figured out yet? Yeah. We Handler Motorsports is sending us a Pro 50 base for Dad's car just to kind of give away the video, but it doesn't matter. You guys are my live stream people, so we're good. We're already an hour and a half in, and nobody will probably even hear this anyways that watches the video. But we're gonna put a Pro 50 base on. We thought we had the cable and the base here already, but apparently we don't. And we're going to put a new cable in and get it all fixed up, and we're going to take that shit back out there and hopefully not break the T5. So, all right, getting kind of tired here, so let's go ahead and get this banner gave away. This is a long one. Okay, here we go. Might be at the top, might be at the bottom. Here we go. Sean Flesh, man, congratulations on the Tremec. So hit me up in Neomustangs at hotmail.com. Send me an email. And, give me your address. And we will get you this banner out. Congratulations, dude. Try to do it as fair as possible, guys. I mean, it is what it is. We'll get more banners. We're not going to stop giving away banners. So, just so you know, eventually everybody will have a bunch of them. So, anyways, guys, 10-second recipe, one piece at a time. We're gonna get this black car back together, one piece at a time. It's gonna be a bad bitch. Make sure you guys check on, one thing I wanted to mention earlier. Make sure you guys check on, there's that one person that you ain't talked to in a long time. You know what I mean? I'm all about being human, man. There's that one person that you may not have talked to in a long time that maybe you had been thinking about lately, reaching out to them and saying hello. You never know who is trying to just hold their shit together that's literally standing right next to you and you don't even know it. And, just be a good human. You know what I mean? Sometimes I got to backtrack on myself. Sometimes it's just sometimes I just get irritated and mad, and I understand. But you never know, like I said, you never know what people are going through. Reach out to that one person that you might be thinking about that you haven't talked to in a long time and just see how they're doing. You know what I mean? Sometimes, they'll probably be wondering what, you know what I mean? Just be a good human. Be a good person. But anyways, appreciate you guys. Like I said, we got a lot of content. You know, I keep promising you content. I didn't even give you anything last week. We were busy. I know we've been busy, but I'm always going to be here for Jack Stand Church for y'all, no matter what time it is. We might be a little bit early. We might be a little bit late, but we're going to get that shit in, right? So I love y'all. I appreciate. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this here right now. So, you know, it's a team effort. You guys have a good week. I want to see some progress on them Jack Stand projects. I want to hear some good stories next Sunday, and maybe we'll get something give away next week. I don't know. We'll figure something out, right? So, anyways, have a good weekend. Have a good night. Once again, I appreciate you guys stopping in. Big shout out to my sponsors: Tremec, McLeod, Stiflers, Handler Motorsports, Anderson Ford Motorsports, Viking, AFCO, just to name a few. Yeah. Anyways, love y'all. Be safe this week. We'll see you soon.